Kanye West, one of the most influential people of our time. You either love him or you hate him, mainly because of his personality. He's firm in his beliefs and stays true to who he really is. He's the GOAT in my book for that and a lot more. He's also very successful in a lot of things he does, like the clothing, the music. Hell, even the STEM players are pretty popular. And don't forget his funny cameos in McDonald's commercials. But there's one little known fact about Kanye West. He's a gamer. Yup, Kanye West. He's a gamer. And he actually tried making a video game with Nintendo. How did that go? Well, nowadays, there is one Kanye West video game that's still playable, and you can play it on the Yeezy Gap store. It's a okay game, it's kind of like Doodle Jump, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about only one. The game that Kanye West made in tribute to his mother, Donda West. This is the story of how Kanye West roped Nintendo into one of the craziest gaming deals to never happen. But before we dive headfirst into that, I think it's fair we start where it all began. We have to go back to Kanye's childhood. Chick-fil-A! Kanye's gaming interest started in his young days, as early as 12 and perhaps even younger. He took inspiration from the Super Mario Bros. Games and attempted to create his own Mario-esque game. The only issue was, he had little to no experience in the gaming world. But Ye was never known to back down, now was he? The finished product was very dirty and naughty in nature, but that really makes you think, doesn't it? You know, Princess Peach really does make everyone down bad nowadays, I suppose, huh? While this game never saw the light of day, it did help with Kanye's music career. You see, Kanye knew that every good game needs a really good video game OST. And that's where his love for composing and making music truly started. Kanye West wouldn't touch anything video game related for over 2 decades, and instead focus on, wouldn't you guess it, music. In that time though, while Kanye was stacking up record after record, one of his biggest inspirations and supporters, Donda West, would pass away in 2007. Donda West was one of Kanye's biggest supporters and inspirations, as previously stated, and you could tell how much he loved his mother. She was always somewhere in Kanye's music, from College Dropout's Hey Mama to recently with both Donda and Donda 2 respectively. When I say Kanye's mom was his biggest supporter, I mean it. Understandably, this led to Kanye making some questionable decisions, including the VMA Awards of 2009, where he interrupted Taylor Swift receiving an award to call out Beyonce because
Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
After this moment, the media really turned on Kanye West. You couldn't go anywhere on the internet for a while without seeing some kind of hit piece on Kanye West. It was all too much for Kanye to handle, and he exiled himself for a while, before returning with arguably one of his best albums, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. And with this album, a new era of Kanye West was ushered in. But Camo, I can hear you asking, how does this relate to Only One, the mobile game? Well, Horde, all of this led up to one of the biggest moments in Kanye's gaming career. Oh, and I guess his music career too. February 14th, 2016. Kanye delivered the best Valentine's Day gift I've ever received. The Life of Pablo, his gospel album. A few months after releasing this gospel album, Kanye West dropped the gospel album of gaming in Only One. Now, make no mistake, E3 2016 brought us some complete bangers. It was one of the most competitive E3s we've seen in a while. You had Breath of the Wild, God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, and Infinite Warfare. Okay, look, it was one of the worst Call of Duties to date, I get it, but I mean, anything's better than Advanced Warfare, right? Anyways, with all this gaming buzz, Kanye knew he would need some big guns to get this game rolling. And he knew just the game company to do it. Nintendo, one of the juggernauts of the gaming world. When you think gaming, Nintendo usually comes to mind as the suspect. And how couldn't they? They got Mario, Kirby, Link, and a lot more. Nintendo was definitely on Kanye's radar, and he knew he wanted in on that company. One of the main reasons Kanye wanted to partner with Nintendo was because they had very high standards. And eventually, at E3, Kanye got to meet up with Reggie and the gang. The meeting was very interesting, to say at least. Kanye West started by visiting the Nintendo booth, and even got the opportunity to spend some quality time with Shigeru Miyamoto. And despite how dope it was to meet Miyamoto in person, he also wanted to speak with Reggie. The two talked for a little bit, and eventually set up a meeting in one of Kanye's offices in Calabasas, California, with Kim Kardashian also present at the meeting. Part of it was talking about what he was up to, Reggie explains. He was experimenting with a piece of video game content, and he wanted reactions to it. Then he just came out of nowhere and said, "I want to work with Nintendo." Reggie went on to explain that they had a lot of projects going on at Nintendo, and the possibility of doing something with Kanye just wasn't there yet. And so they had to politely decline the opportunity to work with Kanye. Reggie told him, quote, "Kanye, you don't want to work with us because we're tough. We're hard. All we do is push for the very best content. We would not be the type of partner you would want to work with." And then Kanye, being the GOAT that he is, looked Reggie in the eyes and said, "Reggie, you're exactly the type of partner I want because of that reason." And Reggie couldn't believe it. It was one of the hardest decisions Nintendo had to make. Hell, the hardest decision for anyone to make is to turn Kanye West down. But unfortunately, Nintendo had a lot going on at the time, and they just had to decline his offer. Come on, Nintendo. You guys only had a mainline Zelda game, a mainline Pokemon game, and a console slated for next year. So give him a break. Man, I thought Nintendo fans had it rough in 2016. It's really admirable, though, to go up to arguably one of the biggest gaming companies and try to collaborate with them. I can only see a few people doing that, and Kanye definitely fits the bill. I don't know about you, but I would have loved to see a Kanye West x Mario crossover, let alone only one actually hit the App Store. Unfortunately, though, it was a case of the wrong place and the wrong time. Who knows? Maybe if they didn't have as many projects, I'd have a deluxe edition of Only One in my hands. Is the world really ready for Only One, though? Only time will tell. And I do hope it comes to fruition someday. And hey, with Kanye being more creative in recent memory, it seems like anything can happen. I mean, no, seriously, this dude's trying to make a foam car. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks pretty good. Like, if it was pretty reasonably priced, I might buy it, but that's neither here nor there. It's safe to assume that nobody knows what Kanye West is gonna do next, and that's just how I like my Kanye West. I love it because he could just do whatever he wants, whatever he feels like, and it's usually a banger. I mean, seriously, he's like half entrepreneur, half music artist at this point, and I'm all for it. Well, Horde, I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was pretty fun to make, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Put a lot of work into this one. Be sure to let me know if you think Only One should be made into a mobile game sometime in the future. I really hope so. It would be really fun to play. That'll be it for me, Horde. Brains.